Okay, good morning from Hachijojima, Japan. We are going to be conducting a domestic flight on the Dash 800 All Nippon Airlines over to Haneda in Tokyo. To give you an idea of where we are, and for those of you who perhaps maybe might not be familiar with some of the world updates that Microsoft Flight Simulator has provided since its release 2 years ago, Hachijojima was one of the 4 or so airports that they custom built during the Japan World Update. And Haneda also happens to be one of them, or Haneda might have come with one of the original packages, but either way, it gives you some more realistic scenery for some of these airports in Japan. Those of you who are big aviation geeks like myself, you know most of Japan's domestic operations are really done by wide-body aircraft among the major cities. Slot restrictions, high demand contributes to all of that. But when you have a small island like Hachijojima, you don't need a wide-body. This is only a 6,500 or so foot runway, and we're pretty much to the south of Tokyo. I think it's 225 nautical miles. I'll check in the CDU in a few seconds here. So we're gonna be maintaining. We're gonna have a 80 degree, so runway 8 departure. Turn left to the north. And then we'll be following this routing. It's not gonna be a straight line into Tokyo. So we're gonna go east, north, and west. Northeast, west again, north northwest, north northeast, and then we'll finally fly into Haneda's runway 34 right. So I think all this zigzagging that you see here is just part of the sequencing. You're dealing with Haneda Airport and Narita Airport, so Japan's busiest hubs. A lot of traffic to sequence in and out of here, so separation, all that. So that's probably why it's not a straight line. I'm not aware of any restricted airspace. Okay, so that's pretty much our briefing of what we're going to be doing, and we'll go over our checklist here to get going. Alright, we'll do the pre-flight. Oxygen tested at 100%. Navigation, transfer, and display switches normal auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization mode selector is set to auto. Runway 34 right is on the water, is 71 feet above sea level, the threshold. So we'll put 100 feet here on, and we'll put 50 feet here on the landing altitude. So our heading out of here is 76 before we turn to the left. And the current altimeter here is 1005. Set the parking brake already, and the engine start levers are confirmed on cutoff. So pre-flight checklist completed. We'll go ahead and hook up our tug. I'm just gonna push back, straight back, and then taxi on my own, so we'll not be turning the nose. Let's make sure we get our APU generators going here. Okay, they already are.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback.
Pre-flight checklist. Correction, before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked.
Roger that.
Fuel pumps on. Passenger signs on.
Release the brakes, please.
Windows locked. MCP set. Takeoff speeds set. CDU pre-flight completed. Rudder aileron trim free and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Anti-collision light on. Before start complete, starting engine number 2. And starting engine number 1. Before taxi, generators on. Probe heat on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Recall checked. Auto brake RTO. Engine start levers. Idle detent. Flight controls checked and ground equipment clear. Before taxi checklist complete. And since we're next to the runway, we'll do before takeoff. Flaps 15, green light. Stabilizer trim 3.52 units set. Before takeoff checklist complete. Taxiing. You can see some very nice fall colors here. And again, if you are familiar with Rex AccuSeason, that is my recommendation for those of you who want to see realistic foliage changes year round. Okay, on the runway, we're going to get our lights on. We were assigned runway 8, but it looks like the wind is actually going to be a tailwind. A little bit of a crosswind too. We'll see how it performs. I'll just be watching out for any potential stall. Okay, takeoff. Thrust set. Check.
V1. Rotate.
Yeah, definitely windy.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Flaps 5. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Command A. After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on, packs, auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. So as I mentioned during taxi, it's going to be about 225 nautical miles, so we already have 217 nautical miles to go. It's not a straight line, otherwise it'd be a lot quicker. But that's going to have us on the ground in about 40 minutes. It's going to be a pretty quick flight. Last check that Tokyo had some very heavy rain. Low visibility, and we'll get a forecast before descent to see what the latest is. Still expecting to be arriving on runway 34 right. We're going to be topping off at flight level 240 today. I'm doing a direct climb. There is no traffic to worry about here. I was looking at flight radar 24, and this small little island airport gets 3 or 4 All Nippon 737-800 flights from Haneda daily. So yeah, very low number of movements. And as we prepare to pass 10,000, we'll get our landing lights off, and we will resume the flight, or check that, we will resume the video once we're starting to descend into Haneda. So I'll see you then.